The Cheeseboy 628 Show, starring Cheeseboy 628.
Hey YouTube, what's going on? This is Cheeseboy628 here today giving you an OU Tier Wi-Fi battle, and just letting you guys know today the Tournament 2 was on today by GE. Participated in that, didn't do so well myself because hacks got me round 1, so that was kind of a disaster for me. But as for some other buddies of mine, like Wifi kinda got hacked out too, he told me, but some of my buddies made it to like the quarterfinals and semifinals. It was really awesome, and one of my buddies actually won this scarf. Why not for the second time? Not to mention it was versus my buddy Careless Skate 88. I'll get that replay up for you guys sometime soon, but that's not what this video is about, right? Let's get into this team preview. I've got my sub Call Mine Keldeo, Life Orb, B Sharp, Flare Boost, Flame Orb, Drift Bloom, Specially Defensive Amoongus, Flame Charge, Entane, Agility, Mega Ampharos. Now look at my opponent's team. Has a ton of threats. I mean, that Kirambi alone, I have no idea how I'm going to handle this monster. Everything on his team is super fast, and his Mesprit is his slowest Pokemon. That's base 80, so I've definitely got my work cut out for me. I don't have rocks, and half of his team does not appreciate rocks. Quite unfortunate for me, not to mention he has a Starmie anyway for spinning, but I do have Drift Bloom, but hey, that's not even a scenario right now. He's got offensive threats, and I need to work my way around this team, so let's see how this battle goes. So I'm going to start with my Mega Ampharos, so that way I can Mega Evolve first turn, and that way I can get off some nice damage on anything. Now this Aerodactyl, if it's sashed, I have a chance to just break it right now. If it's Mega like it is, as it is his only possible Mega, I can just take it out, and that threat is gone, because that way it outspeeds my entire team. So he does Mega Evolve, I'm going to Mega Evolve. Now I know, even though I have no HP investment, there is no chance that this EQ will kill me, even if he is adamant, which he probably is. But he crits me, and yes, that crit did matter. Now his Aerodactyl is still at full health, and I'm just not in a good position now. This is interesting. Bringing my Keldeo to bluff that I'm Scarfed, and he stays in. And I go for the sub, and he gets up his rocks, so that's kind of just a really annoying play there. Now he's going to go for the Earthquake in order to take out my sub here. I'm not sure if he also carries the Aerial Ace. Maybe he's not using it just so he knows that from this range that Aerial Ace will be able to take me out instead of Earthquake. Nonetheless, I just go for my Hydro Pump here because I just want to take this threat out. Thankfully I am able to do such. Now it brings in a Zapdos though, and I'm like, okay, Keldeo is like my fastest poke, and I've got to keep this thing around. So I've got my Specially Defensive Amoongus, and plus this way I could hopefully Spore something. Now something interesting I noticed about the Zapdos is it's actually Life Orb, but I didn't necessarily put 2 and 2 together that he has more than just T-Bolt to make for coverage. So he actually does carry the Heat Wave, and thankfully I'm barely able to live and just get off that Spore on the Zapdos, which was a threat otherwise. So this Leftovers is going to bring me back to 30 HP, and I'm going to have to switch out sometime to get some Regenerator. He's actually going to go into his Starmie. I don't think I have much use of bringing in Amoongus still to just attack anything right now, so I do actually go into my Entei maybe to set up on the Zapdos if he wants to break sleep turns, and he is actually going to bring out his Starmie, so I have no use of staying in right now, and I have to go back to my Amoongus actually and just see what he goes for. I could just fodder it really, but he's going to go for the Scald. So here I kind of think maybe it's more of a defensive variant, because otherwise he would carry Surf or Hydro Pump, plus he doesn't have Life Orb. So I'm going to go out to my B Sharp now, predicting the Psy Shock if he does happen to carry it, and that's exactly what he goes for. Now he goes for the Scald again, and I wasn't sure since I'm max speed if I was able to outspeed or not, or if he was even going to stay in. Turns out he does stay in, he goes for the Scald, but thankfully does not get the burn. I'm not sure if I would have killed him if I was burned. Nonetheless, he does bring in his Infernape now, and I don't think I should stay in against this monster. So I am going to go to my Drift Bloom, potentially taking a CC or a U-turn, and he is going to go for the U-turn. I quad resist, so that does absolutely diddly, and since I just brought it in, I will get the Flame Orb to activate, and like I said last time I used this set, that Flare Boost is like choice specs, except you can choose any move you want, so it is a 1.5 times boost. Now he had Kirambi in, but then he switches it out, so I'm not sure if he thought that just I outspeed and I was going to do a ton of damage to him or something. Nonetheless, my Shadow Ball does a ton to the Zapdos since he is offensive, and that Zapdos is easily going to be to a KO'd, and since he didn't even burn 1 turn of sleep last time he was in, he's definitely going to go down without waking up. Now he brings in his Infernape here, and I still don't know what kind of set this thing is, so I'm just going to leave in my Drift Bloom potentially as fodder, and he is going to take me out of course, and I don't see Life Orb recoil just like last time of course, so I don't know though if he's Choice Scarf or Choice Band, but I am going to assume assume that he is choiced right now. So what's kind of interesting here, this is actually a pretty big play. I'm going to Spore on the switch and hit his Mesprit. That was very huge for later. And he's going to bring in his Kyurem B now. And finally, my plays of going for Spore then Stun Spore actually worked for once, as I'm able to paralyze this Kyurem B. And that's huge. And you'll see why it's even bigger, because I'm going to go for a Sludge Bomb here, and he's going to get paralyzed, and this is a huge play, because now I can go for another Sludge Bomb. I didn't realize how big of a play this was, but as you can see, that Kyurem B is relatively bulky, and I talked to my opponent after this battle, and it's a custom set that's more defensively oriented, and I do have the Iron Head on my B Sharp, but if I didn't get that extra Sludge Bomb damage, I wouldn't have necessarily been able to take out that Kyurem. Now it doesn't factor in the Paralyze or the potential flinch, but that's not even a factor obviously because of the Paralyze. Now he brings in his Infernape again, and I'm thinking I might as well just save my B Sharp a little bit longer. Gonna bring in my Entei and hopefully see what he's going to go for. My Entei is practically fodder right now. I actually live with 1 HP, interesting enough, but it's obviously not going to matter because Infernape outspeeds naturally, and plus I'm adamant. Unfortunately, I do not carry the extreme speed. I really wish I did, but I'm a flame charge variant. So my Entei is going to go down now, and I'm going to bring in Keldeo. Now it gets really intense. It was 50-50 here. I was predicting him to go out to Mesprit to take the secret sword, and turns out that is not going to be the case, as he's now going to stay in, go for the close combat, and that's going to take out my B Sharp, and all I have left is my Keldeo. So all I can hope is maybe outspeed and then try to calm mind enough where I can potentially take him out. But that's not going to be the case. He's going to go out to Mesprit right away, actually, oddly enough. But yes, what my ideal was, I was thinking since he knew I had B Sharp and I'm a Life Orb, and a knockoff would guaranteed kill his Mesprit. Now he told me that his Infernape is Choice Scarf, and from the range I was at, there was no way a close combat would have taken me out, and I thought he would have recognized that, therefore go into his Mesprit to take whatever my Keldeo had to offer, burn some sleep turns, and eventually take me out. Obviously that wasn't the case, and now that I think about it, weeks after I had this battle, his play made a lot more sense. But yes, I go for the Hydro Pump after 1 Calm Mind. That is not going to be enough. And unfortunately, that Psychic is doing way too much, even though I have +1 special defense. So I can go for another Hydro Pump and take him out, sure. But he still has that Choice Scarf Infernape. That thing can just press close combat, and that will be the game. So that was a great game, G-Beast. I definitely want to battle you again sometime, because that was a really close and enjoyable battle. And he's just going to finish me off with a Thunder Punch here, and that will be the game. So thank you all for watching. Like, comment, sub, and until later, peace.